was asked, told this that why are you doing this? You're not needed. What's different about you? It got to me every single day. I was not the best at, I sucked at studies. I used to get a 50, 40, 50. I used to flunk most of my exams. A simple, nice tiramisu latte with the tiramisu on top. And that's what got us viral. I'm not afraid of not being the best. I'm afraid of not giving my best to be the best. If you want to be great, if you want to stand out, you want to create something that lasts longer than freaking you in this world, and you want to be your name to be in history, you can't think about work-life balance. It's a disease. It's poisonous. I hate the word networking. I just absolutely hate it. Because when you are successful in life, you'll automatically build a network. It's like Botox for an entrepreneur. Like, I hate it. I hate it when people are like, hey, we have a networking event. If
You don't go for them.
I avoid. I just had a lot of matcha today after like 10 days. I'm a little jittery right now, but that's fine.
Wait, matcha makes you jittery?
No. I did coffee trials. I did some, yeah. No wonder.
Yeah, I've heard people say drunk also. A friend of mine was like, I did go to this place drunk. I was like, wait, did you go drunk or the place ka name was drunk? She's like, both. Not everyone gets a thumbs up from Nikhil Kamath. What did you do right? How did you convince him to bet on you? Two 20-something founders have built one of the most hyped cafes in Bandra. No Swiggy, Zomato, none of it, not even their own website. How did they do it? Let's find out. Aryan, can you take me to the moment when Drink started? How did it all come about?
Before I started Drink in 2023 with Raj, I was running a smoothie brand from my house called Blaze Blends. I operated that for a year. I did pop-ups across India. In that trip itself, I realized I wanted to do something better and more organic in the space for the coming generation, which is obviously the Gen Z and the Gen X, etc. But the idea was to do something that a new generation relates to. I'm 21 now. I started Blaze when I was 17. I wanted to do something better overall in terms of branding, in terms of marketing, distribution. I shut Blaze Blends in about Jan 2023, and I met Raj, and I wanted to rebrand that version, but I wanted to be into beverages, not just smoothies. So we met in March. We kind of worked it out, came up with the concept of Drink, wanted to be the beverage spot, and we launched April 14th as a cloud kitchen. We operated that for a good 7 to 8 months.
This is 2024, 2025.
2023, I'm talking about. Yeah. So we had a cloud kitchen, operated that for a good 8 to 9 months. At that moment, I was like, you know what? I want to get into the offline experience. So we opened a small 150 square foot takeaway store right on Pali Hill. That was the first Drink offline store. We did that for about 9 months, and that led to the Drink flagship, which is the cafe we're running in Bangalore.
Did you go all in or were you like, let's wait and watch, see how it gets and then put in more money?
You have to go all in to build something that's meaningful, and at least to kind of work with the vision I had. Went all in the start, invested about 3 to 4 lakhs of my own money.
Were you told by people why a cafe? There are so many cafes in Bandra.
On every step, from Blaze Blends to the cloud kitchen at Drink to takeaway, I was asked, told this that why are you doing this? You're not needed. What's different about you?
How did you not let that get to you, bud?
It got to me every single day. It did not get to me. It was like, it did haunt me every day. But I think that's what the competitiveness in me, because I've always been a sports person since I was like 6 years old. I just wanted to prove myself that I'm not exactly what they're saying.
Product. What all do you have? If you could just brief me about that.
We divide the menu in two parts. The most important is the drink menu, which is primarily matcha, iced matchas.
This is the matcha.
Yeah, that's the strawberry matcha, and that is the mocha. So we divided the menu in two, the cafe menu. One is the drink menu, which focuses on iced matchas and iced coffees. Fun fact, we do not have any hot beverages.
Why is that?
To be very honest, the what stands out about drink is how we innovate with beverages and how we play around with flavors, with different raw materials, flavors, etc. And with hot beverages, you just couldn't do that. We opened the cafe June 14th, and from June 14th to about 1st of August, the matcha was like trending for us. We were spoken about. Everyone was talking about the drink matcha. Everyone was about the strawberry matcha, the Kyoto Cloud for about 45 days. And then we launched a product on our menu called the Tiramisu Latte, which was a simple, nice tiramisu latte with the tiramisu on top. And that's what got us viral. We want to serve the Gen Z, and quality is the most important. What do the Gen Z want? They want good looking stuff that tastes freaking good. And on the back of the mind, we want to give the best quality. So you have to somehow be a good balance, you know? That's how Raj and I balance ourselves. He comes with the entire creativity of this is how the drink should look. And that's where I'm like, you know what? This is how it should taste. And this is what the ingredients we should use.
Can you walk me through your price point and how did you come to it?
All the drinks on the menu start for about 285. An iced coffee starts about 285, 290. And the matcha starts at about 330. Plus, if you add oat milk or almond milk option, that'll be like a plus 80 rupees or something. We have more repeat customers on Masha. But because of the tiramisu latte being a viral product for us,
How do you come up with new things? Logistics wise, that seems like a bit of a stretch, right? So, how does the new menu per week work?
logistically, yes, does. It's something that does hold a lot of weight, but that's what stands out for us. It's a big part of our entire business model of innovation, consistency, relevancy. That's what we're known for, and we've gotten used to it.
Where do these people come mostly from? Is it social media or is it like word of mouth from other places or they just stop by?
60-40. 60 social media, 40 is word of mouth. I don't know if people still have the culture of walking, but like, hey, what's that? Let's go. That was like 70s, 80s.
Why not go on Swiggy, Zomato? Like, is there a reason? Because a lot of cafes would rather scale on these platforms, right? Is that a move that you would like to make in future?
The reason we did not do it is because we wanted to kind of let people get the experience of what drink is all about. The music, the interiors, the people, the vibe, the energy. That's very important. And we couldn't do that through Zomato Swiggy. That's one part. Second part is the product quality gets affected. Third part, the commissions are insane. So for someone to kind of think of it as a business move, it doesn't make sense. If you're doing it for added revenue, yes. But as a business move, it's not very smart. If you figure something out like some cool technology where the ice does not melt, I will do it.
Now, not everyone gets a thumbs up from Nikhil Kamath. What did you do right? How did you convince him to bet on you?
What worked out for us is where he understood the vision of us not only just being a separate cafe, but a cultural movement of and actually representing the Gen Zs through drinks. And knowing that that is the future and that's what we're going to be building in the next 5 to 10 years, he's a forward thinking guy, right? And the fact that we want to build something that is for the upcoming generation through our drinks, something that stands out. He likes to stand out.
Do you have any plans to get into more stores? Are you thinking of like opening
Yes.
more stores?
Ideally, building the drink footprint is a part of the plan. And we do see that happening in the coming few months. Yeah, another store very soon.
So, where would be the right place for you for your next store? A few places, 3 places.
Anywhere in the suburbs in Mumbai would be suitable for drink. It's just how we place ourselves, what happens first, and what are the next steps usually. But anywhere in the suburb.
Previously, we just spoke about how you guys do so well on social media. What is it that you all are doing right in terms of getting those views? If we were to put out a few tips from that playbook of yours for a brand that's launching new, and they want to grow.
Number one, be organic and true to yourself, and of course, what your brand is. And number two, just be all about kind of create that connection with the customer. Number three, share your vision. Don't think the social media manager will fix your page. Bottom line is any successful Instagram is 99% run by its founders. Be it any brand.
So you don't have a social media manager.
No.
Raj is your social media manager.
Raj is the one who runs the entire thing. If something works, leverage the shit out of it. Don't leave it. Do it 10 times, do it 100 times. Exhaust it. Give it everything. Use as much as you can. We have this mindset, which I tell Raj, is that we will launch drink. This is before opening drink. But at the day we launch him, the first 1,000 days, we will give everything to every single thing, and we will not care about results. We will just work. We will do what we can. We will give it our best for the first 1,000 days. Uske baad we'll judge whether things are working or not working out. We had phases of us being demotivated by things not working out. But again, it was 2.5 years, and that's when the flagship opened in Bandra and things started to work out for us. But that was only after 2.5 years of nothing.
And you still didn't give up.
I couldn't because I honestly, I just couldn't, because I always say I report to my conscience, and that was my standard. I'm not afraid of not being the best. I'm afraid of not giving my best to be the best.
Has age worked as an advantage for you guys, or do you think they underestimate you both?
Between Raj and I, it's very funny because he's 23, I'm 21. It's a major advantage. I just did not have anything in my life to look forward to, so I just started something that I was very passionate about. Like, at least founders I've heard of or I talk to, they start pretty young. It's just that they come in the limelight later because success is not overnight, right?
What are a few mistakes you think founders make at the start of their journey and some you might have made?
So at Blazeband, I was going to give up on the 9th month because I just didn't see any traction. Don't give up too early. Don't give up on yourself at all. Believe in yourself. Believing in yourself and your vision is super important. People ask me, how do you believe in yourself? Is by just showing up. The best thing you can do to yourself and your business is to just show off. One mistake young founders actually make is that they think that, oh, they're just young. Doesn't matter. I mean, dude, your age doesn't matter if you're into it. You are literally, your business doesn't know your age. Your business doesn't care about your age. It just cares about the hours you put in and the effort you're putting in, right? So giving yourself that comfort that, oh, I'm just 21, 22. Comfort spot is the worst place. Creating a comfort spot is the worst part. Panicking too early. I mean, I still do panic, so I can't, I'm being a hypocrite. I do what I believe in a lot. Rather than seeing Instagram reels about success, I actually go back 50 years ago. I see how Tata's, Birla's, how Ambani's, how all these institutional people like Jindal and all build their entire foundation. That's the stories I look into. And that is where you actually see, okay, it takes time, it takes structure, it builds time, it takes vision. You can't just get success overnight.
Did you have this mindset when you were younger, say in school, or did you find it hard to sort of build this over time?
I was not the best I sucked at studies. I used to get like 50, 40, 50. I used to flunk most of my exam. My father is my idol. I always saw him in suits, wake up in the morning, go to office, have this aura, like I had this aura like around him that that guy used to just work, and his life was all, I never saw his schooling, right? I just saw him working and excelling at that. So I always thought that maybe that is one thing which I can learn over time. I just saw talking sales, business as something as my calling because studying was not my thing. I actually care about achieving my vision first, and money will just be a byproduct.
Can you still be a good founder without going to business school? What are your thoughts on it? Is it a waste, as some people say, or are you someone who thinks otherwise?
True founders are innately built. Founders aren't fabricated. It's an innate thing. A founder has to be a great salesperson. That cannot be done in business school. Business school is an escape. Founders are innately built with instincts, and they will do anything to achieve even in 1% of sense, they have this is what they want to do.
So did you go to business school?
I was a part of one. I had taken admission, but I never went. In college, you meet people who you'll always learn something from. There'll be one type of person who you learn good things from, like of this is what you want to innate and this is what you want to be. And the second part is you want to learn things you actually don't ever want to learn from the same college. I hate the word networking. I just absolutely hate it because when you are successful in life, you'll automatically build a network. It's like Botox for an entrepreneur. Like I hate it. Like it's so I do.
Botox or entrepreneur, that's a new thing.
Yeah, you know what I hate it when people are like, hey, we have a networking event. If we
Don't go for them.
I avoid.
Aryan, what are your thoughts on the whole concept of having work-life balance?
It's the most atrocious. It's the most stupid. It is impossible if you want to live an ordinary life. Yes. But if you want to be great, if you want to stand out, you want to create something that lasts longer than freaking you in this world and you want to be your name to be in history, you can't think about work-life balance. It's a disease. It's poisonous. I hate it.
So much noise.
Will I make a good barista? Can I make? At least let me try first.
Go.
Really? For real? Cool. Let's go. You can't bring that.
Mate, take this and put it all over the cup.
Oh, I can? Okay, wait. So we're making matcha. Are we making matcha?
So,
Okay.
Pour from Raj.
What exactly are we making?
We're making a caramel matcha.
and just get the biscuit.
And that's it?
No, wait now, one second. Oh, let's seriously. You're in the cinema.
Guys, this is one of our favorites.
It's beautiful. Enjoy, guys. Enjoy. That was so easy.
Yeah, but you didn't teach me. Will I get a sugar rush after this?
Not at all.
Oh, it's sweet, but it is good. It balances it out.
Balance. This can be balanced all in the life.
I think we are pretty clear on the work-life balance. We get it.